Have you ever noticed something strange? You can get paid, and within a few days you feel broke again. Not panicked, not shocked. Just normal. At some point, being broke stops feeling like a crisis and starts feeling like your baseline. Why? Because the human brain adapts to almost anything, even financial stress. Right now, a majority of Americans report living paycheck to paycheck. Many households have less than $1,000 in savings. Credit card debt in the US has crossed into the trillions. Financial pressure isn't rare, it's common. And when something becomes common, it starts to feel normal. But normal doesn't mean healthy. It just means repeated. There's a psychological principle called hedonic adaptation. It means we adjust to our circumstances over time, good or bad. Win the lottery? Eventually that feels normal. Move somewhere stressful? Eventually that feels normal too. The same thing happens with money. If you've lived in financial instability long enough, your nervous system stops reacting to it like an emergency. It becomes your baseline. Now, layer in scarcity mindset. When money feels tight, your brain shifts into short-term survival mode. It prioritizes immediate relief, immediate comfort, immediate solutions. Long-term planning becomes harder, not because you're irresponsible, but because your cognitive bandwidth is reduced. Scarcity consumes mental energy. That's not weakness, that's neuroscience. Then there's social conditioning. If you grew up in a household where money was always tight, if your friends joke about being broke, if social media constantly says, broke till payday, treat yourself anyway, girl math, financial instability starts to feel culturally reinforced. Struggle becomes aesthetic. Overspending becomes humor. Debt becomes normalized. And when everyone around you is in the same cycle, it doesn't feel abnormal. It feels shared. Here's where it gets deeper. When something repeats long enough, it can attach to identity. I'm just bad with money. I'll always be broke. That's just how life is. The brain loves identity consistency. If being broke becomes part of how you see yourself, your behavior unconsciously aligns with it. Not because you want to struggle, but because humans act in alignment with who they believe they are. And then the cycle forms. Financial stress, small relief, maybe a purchase, maybe buy now, pay later, maybe payday dopamine, temporary comfort, back to financial stress. Repeat. Over time, the emotional spike dulls. You stop feeling alarmed. You start feeling used to it. And that's the dangerous part. Because adaptation removes urgency. But zoom out for a second. Wages have struggled to keep pace with rising living costs. Housing, healthcare, food, subscriptions. Everything is frictionless and recurring. Modern systems are designed for spending, not stability. So this isn't just personal failure. It's environmental pressure plus psychological adaptation. That combination is powerful. Here's the key shift. Normal is not the same as natural, and it's not the same as permanent. If broke feels normal, it means your brain adapted. And what the brain adapts to, it can also readapt from. Awareness breaks autopilot. Tracking breaks illusion. Small, intentional friction breaks cycles. The goal isn't shame, the goal is noticing. Noticing when survival mode became identity. Noticing when this is just how it is replaced possibility. Because the moment you see the pattern, it stops being invisible. And once it's visible, you can change it. Being broke shouldn't feel normal. It should feel temporary. And temporary starts with awareness. If this made you think differently about your money patterns, that's the point. This is Spendology, where we don't just talk about money, we talk about the psychology behind it.